Hello, all you beautiful souls out there. I'm Alyssa. Welcome back to Returning to You, returning to who you really are before all of life's chaos and messiness showed up, people pleasing, abandoning yourself, addictions, divorce, breakups, all of it. Before all of that came, and now you want something more. You want to do something different, have different results. That's where I come in. That's what I'm doing. If you're looking for someone who has all these accolades, certifications on their wall and everything, maybe I'm not the person you want to watch. I do have a life coach certification and lots of professional experience and experience helping women in sobriety. But one thing that I feel like makes me stand apart from others is I am not pretending to have it all figured out, okay? I'm walking through the shadows too. I'm going through it. And I've found some light and some hope and different tools and resources, and just from my own experience. And so that's me. I'm sharing my story with you. Maybe you can find some light contained in the struggles I'm going through, and it might help just knowing that you're not alone and other people are hurting too. Which brings me to this week's topic, dating. This is a big one because romantic relationships for me, my entire life, have been a big whammy. Bringing up those abandonment wounds of me not being enough, the rejection, the just really dark places that it takes you. Me and men, that's been my journey. It started when I was young and I was seeking validation from boys. And when I didn't get it, or whenever I did finally open my heart, I love to live up here in fantasy land because it was safer there. But when I finally would start to open up, my experience was that as soon as I would start to trust someone, they're gone. And it just left me so devastated and feeling so alone. And so what happened, it happened a couple times in my teenage years and when I was in college. And then in my 20s, post-college, I started getting into toxic, abusive relationships, which I'm looking back now thinking, well, yeah, I didn't have to look at myself when I was in those relationships. And I spiraled into drugs and alcohol, and again, wasn't facing this deep-seated abandonment wound that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't lovable. Fast forward to today. I got divorced last year, and I've been trying to date. Well, surprise, those abandonment wounds are popping up. My latest incident was this past week. I had just started talking to someone, and my whole life, I have a Leo moon. If you know what that means, I do like to stand out. I like attention, or especially from men. And I have like this magnetism, I guess, of sorts that draws people in. So men are drawn to my energy and my image, and they get excited. They get excited about me, and then sometimes I have my walls up, but sometimes I spiral into that energy. I get caught up in that energy of someone being excited about you. You know what I'm talking about, right? Someone is coming in hot. They're saying all these things to you, and I know, okay, probably a red flag, right? Someone like that's coming in so strong, right? But when you've been lonely and sad and bored and just like you want something, that attention feels good. Also, I'm a hot-blooded woman, you know, I have urges. I want some physical affection, right? Like I want some physical affection. So it's like someone's like, you know, coming in and I'm like, okay, he's kind of cute. And I get caught up in his excitement. And I start to kind of believe what he's saying. That he really likes me. He likes me. Well, I went on a first date this week with someone, and there was chemistry there. I don't often feel chemistry on dates. I felt it this time. And after the date, I got home like 45 minutes later. We're texting back and forth, and I got confirmation from him that he had a really good time too. It was like playful. He's complimenting like me, my personality, how the dinner went. He wants to learn. I'm really into astrology. He wanted me to teach him about astrology. He's talking about, oh, we didn't get to cover that on this date. We'll talk about it at our next dinner. Okay. Like any reasonable person would think, okay, this person, I got excited. Like I thought we both had this positive experience, right? I will say earlier in the day, before the date, he actually was questioning whether if he had a beer or two during dinner, if that would make me uncomfortable. I'm sober. I told him I was sober, and he brought that up the day of our date. Will it make me uncomfortable? And I said, well, I prefer if you didn't drink on our date, but I recognize you're a grown man. You can do whatever you want. His response is, well, he was going to give me an out. An out. Anyone got that before? I'm going to give you an opportunity to exit the situation. I'm going to put it on you. Because according to him, he didn't want to get attached to me. And then down the road, I would resent him because of his drinking. That right there probably should have been the clue for me that, no, I should have bowed out at that point. You know what I mean? Like looking back, he was pre-justifying his exit. Okay. But I said, no, let's meet. Let's see how it goes. I don't see it being an issue. So the date goes great. I get all this positive feedback from him after. He's like, I mean, he was feeling it. I was feeling it. Then the next day, you see where I'm going with this? The next day, crickets. I don't hear anything from him. And he'd been contacting me every day. I finally reached out to him later in the day, and he's just short. The tone changed. Anyone experienced that before? You're like, okay, what changed? And then sure enough, later that night, I get the rejection text. Something was missing on our date. And I told him, like, okay, your behavior was confusing. Like, why follow up with me? After the date, after we get home, all the positivity about and going out again, just to like reject me the next day. And then, but I pretty much shut it down. I needed to bow out. I thought of all the things I wanted to say to him. Like, that's messed up. That's messing with people's minds and hearts. Like, to be hot and cold like that, and just to like the fact that he abruptly ended it, like, shh, we're never going to see each other again. I know these are his issues. I know that my light made him uncomfortable because he doesn't want to look at his stuff. I was a mirror to him, and that part of him is scared, doesn't want to go there. So I understand all that. Like, he was, self-sabotaging, whatever, but it still hurts. It hurts. It brings up this feeling I know all too well. And it takes me back to my early teenage years, and, you know, this pattern of getting excited, starting to open my heart to someone, trusting what they say, that they like me and everything, and then they bolt and it's done. And there's nothing I can do about it. I wanted to share this because it sucks, but there's a reason it's showing up. I think it's here because in order for me to get to my next timeline, my next chapter, this is something I can't carry with me. If you're experiencing heartache or pain, it's there so you can work to heal it, so you don't have to carry it with you anymore to your next timeline. Because it's hard, because it's painful, it's proof to me that there's light contained on the other side of it. We have to face our shadows and work through this stuff to get to the light that's contained in it, and only through it. If you think about it that way, then whatever you're going through, there's a lesson there. There's more light that can come from it than if you hadn't gone through it at all. It helps to think about it like that. So if you're going through a challenge, something that hurts, look back at the pattern in your life and recognize, okay, it's showing up again for a reason. I don't have to carry this with me. What's the lesson? What's the lesson? Well, for me personally, here, I can show up for myself now. I've been abandoned before, but I don't need to abandon myself anymore. I can go back to that inner child. I can do an inner child meditation, for example, go back to that child and tell her she's safe. She's safe here. And I'm not going to leave you. I got you, baby girl. I got you. Looking for the lessons, knowing like it's through this experience that so much more can come from it. The love that I really want and deserve. Someone showing up, sitting next to me, and just being someone who loves me for me, not the image. For me, someone who's not going to leave, someone I can trust and sees me, the real me. I have to go through this to get there. I have to go through this to say, in a way, I can thank him for being this mere player, making this guest appearance in my life. I can thank him for helping me remember what I'm not going to settle for anymore. I'm remembering I'm not going to settle anymore. I used to, when something like this would happen, I would run to drugs. I would run to alcohol. I would run to another man to escape this pain. And I'm not now. I'm calling a friend. I'm going to a recovery meeting. I'm recording this YouTube video. I'm exercising. I'm talking about it to other people. I'm getting it out. I'm finding the lesson. You can do the same. And it's just like recovery. It's anything you're going through. It's one day at a time. Sometimes 1 hour at a time. Sometimes 1 minute or 1 minute at a time. Sometimes 1 second at a time. But you do it. You get through it 1 second at a time. There's beauty on the other side of it. I promise. Subscribe to my channel if you want more content like this. I'm also on Instagram under Recovered People Pleaser, and my link tree is down below too. There's a free meditation and planner down there. All right, sending love and light. Have a beautiful week.